Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Smeralda and you are watching Albo plants. In this video I wanted to talk about some of the plants that are considered rare at the moment in the market that I don't really get the hype, and as my personal preferences, they are not so beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. First of all, this is a very personal choice. Everyone has their things, like what they like more, what they don't like. Maybe the shape of the plants, it's not something that I really like, or the colors or the texture. So yeah, this thing changes for everyone, so don't be offended about the choices that I make. Maybe you love these plants, maybe you own them. I don't own them and I have never seen them in person, so maybe I will change my mind in the future, or if I see them in person, maybe they will struck me and I would like them. But at the moment, yeah, these are the 10 plants, rare plants, that I don't really like. I'm going to see them in my phone, and I'm going to put some pictures in this side so you can also see for what I'm talking about. While watching for this kind of plants and choosing which one I really don't like, I can see some similarities in them. First of all, the shape. There is like this kind of shape in plants that maybe I am not very drawn into. The growth pattern also. I am very categorizing about this thing because I live in a small apartment with not so much light, so the space that I can grow plants is very limited. So yeah, maybe the growth pattern of these plants isn't very favorable for the conditions that I have in my home, so that's why I'm not so very much drawn to them. And also there are some variegated plants in here, and maybe I don't like the kind of variegation that they have. So let's start with the first one. So the first I want to talk about actually is not only one plant, but they come in a package of 3, because I think that they are so similar with each other. If you see them together, it's very difficult to understand which is who. So the first one is going to be the Philodendron White Princess, Philodendron White Knight, and Philodendron White Wizard, yes. What I don't like about these plants is, first of all, the growth pattern. This kind of like bird nest kind of growth is something that it is found in some philodendrons, but also anthuriums, and to say the truth, I don't really like this kind of growth because I find that they need light from above to really grow gracefully. They also need a lot of space to grow, you know, because they have this circular spread and they need a lot of space. So I don't have this kind of space in my home, and also I cannot provide this kind of light that they need. So this is one of the main reasons I think that I don't like this plant. And the second main reason that I don't like this kind of plant is because if you find a very nice one with a very nice genetic and good variegation, they are very pretty, you know. Especially the White Princess, because it can give you also hues of pink on the leaves. But most of the plants in the market are not so much variegated. They have, I think, not so good genetic. They sell white wizards with very minimal speckling on the leaves. And yeah, I don't find that attractive at all. Like, they seem like a very basic green Congo or something. And yeah, these are the reasons why I don't like these particular plants. The next one I want to talk about is the Variegated Micans. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love Micans, is one of my all-time favorite plant. the velvety leaves, the growth pattern. You can grow it trailing or climbing. I mean, it's a very, very nice plant. I love it. I see that there are two types of variegated micans. The one that I don't like is the one that has the white margins. And the reason why I don't like this particular plant is because I find that the variegation deforms the shape of the leaf very much. Micans is well known to have this kind of heart-shaped leaf. In this case, the white margin really deforms the leaf. It makes it elongated. Sometimes one side is not the same as the other side, and the variegation is, for my taste, very minimal. I don't justify the variegation with the fact that it deforms so much the plant, and also the price tag is quite high. So yeah, these are the reasons that I don't really like this plant. I will not pay as much money for a deformed plant and this kind of minimal variegation. There is also another kind of variegation of micans, which is more speckly and sectoral, and this one, the shape of the leaf is not deformed. So yeah, this kind I really like, this kind of variegated micans. I would much prefer owning this other one than the first one that I showed you before. The next plant that is quite popular as the rare plant, and a lot of plant collectors really want this one, but I don't really like the shape, and the one that I'm talking about is the Philodendron Joepii. So this philodendron is well known for its very peculiar shape of the leaves. The first one that saw this plant in the wild, he thought that it was attacked by insects and was bitten. In fact, this plant has got this shape naturally, and a lot of plant collectors want this kind of plant just because of the shape that it has. But for me, it doesn't justify the price tag. Like, I don't get struck by the shape of the leaves as much as to pay the price that it has. Maybe if I could afford spending that much money and I have bought all the other ones that I really want in my collection, I would maybe consider it as a plant to put together with other plants to give more dimension and variety to the collection. But with my possibilities and the conditions that I am now, yeah, I don't really like this plant, so I will skip it. I'm sorry. The next one is going to be the Monstera Standleyana, which is a plant that is also very popular, and now it has become more available because I've seen that a lot of plants like this are in the market available. But as the one that I was talking before, the White Princess, White Wizards, these ones, they are not with very nice genetic. The ones that you can find on the shops widely have very less variegation on them. They have that moderate spots of variegation, and I don't really find it attractive. If you find a nicer genetic one, maybe then I can understand the fascination about this plant, but still, I don't know, the shape of the leaf and the growth pattern and the size, it's not so alluring to me. Another one that I want to talk about, which is also popular, is going to be the variegated Adansonii. And the one that I think it's not so pretty is the Indonesian one. Yeah, also as the micans, I see that the variegation on this one really deforms the leaves. It makes them wonky, elongated. It looks like it is a bit sick, you know? Like the ones with viruses, that it deforms the leaves. And I'm not saying that this plant has a virus, but yeah, it reminds me of that, a sick plant, you know. I don't really like having this kind of plant and look at it all the time and thinking, oh, maybe this plant is sick, you know. So I would much more prefer the Japanese one, the variegated. It has speckles and also sectoral variegation, white, green, cream. It comes in different shades. And also the shape of the leaves is perfect, like a regular Adansonii. So I much more prefer this one. Also the mint is a very nice specimen. That was the reason why I don't really like the variegated Adansonii Indonesian form. Another one that I want to talk about is the Anthurium Gigi. This one, for me, it looks very similar to the widely available anthuriums you can find in stores with the red flamingo flowers. Yeah, it really much reminds me one of those plants. The only thing that it changes is maybe the form of the leaf is more elongated and a little bit darker, but these are not things that will make me go, wow, such a big difference, you know, and it's so unique that I want it in my collection. I don't really understand the hype behind this particular anthurium. Maybe it's just me, you can tell me. I would much more spend the money for this anthurium for other kinds of anthuriums that I really, really love. The next one is going to be the Philodendron Rio. And yeah, this plant actually still costs much more than Brazil. And it was a period of time that it was very, very expensive to get this plant. And there are also other types of sport variegations for this kind of philodendron. There is also the white cream, I think, the silver stripe, and I have seen a lot of pictures and a lot of descriptions that say which is the difference between them. I can somehow see it, but still it's not so different for me to really invest the difference of price that it has. I think it's just a little whiter Philodendron Brazil. I don't really see the big hype. Maybe if the price difference wasn't this much, I would consider it, because I really like white variegation. I would consider it, maybe buying it instead of the Brazil. But yeah, at the moment I don't find it particularly valuable for the price it has. The difference is not so clear for me. With this plant, I really understood how the plant market changes during time. At the beginning, when I saw this kind of plant, the Billietiae, Philodendron Billietiae, it was quite a cheap plant. I remember it being like a common one, and you could also find it in stores without any problem. Here in Albania, not, but I've seen videos of shops abroad, and yeah, you could find the Philodendron Billietiae very easy, and the price tag wasn't like a regular price. Then at some moment I didn't understand how it happened, but yeah, this plant became very expensive, and immediately when this plant became hard to find and expensive, then people really got the attention to this, you know, gave it a lot of attention only then. And yeah, it was quite strange for me to witness, because I really understood how the fact that this plant got into another status, becoming harder to find and more expensive, really drew the attention of people more than before when it was widely available. But yeah, I don't really like the shape of the leaves for this plant. The fact that it's like elongated and shiny and doesn't have any texture or pattern on the leaves, I don't really like it. I most prefer velvety leaves than shiny leaves. And this one also, another thing that I don't really like is the way it grows. It's like a crazy plant. It grows very fast, and the way the leaves spread is chaotic, and it needs a lot of space, and those are things that I don't like in a plant. And also a very similar one is the Atapapoense, which is, for me, it's very, very similar to Billietiae, but I think it has the red back. So yeah, I can see them at the same category. Another one that I really, really don't like, and I don't see the hype, is the Philodendron Buono. So when I see this plant, I see an outdoor plant. I don't know why. It reminds me of those very big alocaceas that are kept outdoors, because this plant can get really huge. The particular conditions that this plant needs to thrive and to give variegation are that it needs a lot of warmth, humidity, and light. Yeah, this plant wants this kind of conditions, which I don't think I could give them, at least not all year round. And to buy an expensive rare plant for it to then turn green all the time and give you this kind of problems, I really don't like that thing. And the fact that it can take a lot of space in my home, I would much rather have other kinds of plants for the same space than the Buono. I have seen a lot of plant collectors struggle with it, so I will skip it for now. And the last plant for this video that I want to talk about, which is considered very rare now and a lot of people want it and are looking for it, is the Philodendron Caramel Marble. Shocking, right? First of all, the variegation on this is stunning. I love the creamy variegation with a little bit of pink that it has. This very much reminds me of the strawberry shake, but the thing that I don't like about this plant is the shape of the leaves. Yeah, I don't like also the Ring of Fire, and I don't like also the Jungle Boogie, which are the other versions of this plant. So the shape of the leaves I don't like. Yeah, and also, as I was saying, the way that it grows with this circular growth pattern and the way that the leaves spread across the room, I don't really find it attractive. I don't know why. Maybe if I change house and I have more space, then I can consider buying this kind of plants. But at the moment, as much as expensive as it is and very hard to find, I will for sure skip it. So these were like 10 plants at the moment that are considered rare, which I don't really get the hype and I would prefer not to own. When I think about other rare plants or more difficult to find plants that I am trying to add to my collection, which are even less expensive and more easy to find, I will for sure skip the plants that I mentioned in this video and buy other ones. So what do you think? Do you find my choices to be somehow reasonable, or you really like these plants and you don't understand why I don't like them? Everyone has their own preferences. These are mine. If you own these plants and you love them, leave a comment down below. Maybe you will change my mind. But yeah, these were 10 of rare plants that I don't really get the hype. I hope you enjoyed this video, and this was a little bit of break from the Halloween edition videos. Thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget to comment, like, share, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, check out also my Instagram page, albo__plants, for plenty photos and updates of my collection. Thank you again, have a lovely day, and I will see you on the next video. Pacim!